Hi, team. So we're getting ready to answer the exit ticket. But before we do that, I need to make sure you understand exactly what the exit ticket is asking. So let's break it down together. The first step is to look at the prompt. Your exit ticket question is, what does Clarice believe is the biggest problem in the community? And how does she support her argument? So the first thing we're going to do is unpack our key words in the prompt. Our first keyword is going to be Clarice. That is the character that we are talking about with this question. So I shouldn't see much about Montag. I should see majority of your answer is all to do with Clarice and her beliefs. The second term we're going to be looking at is biggest problem. Clarice might name a few problems, but we want to pay attention to the one that's the most important to her. So, what issue impacts the most people? The next term we're going to look at is the term community. This is talking about the setting. So, this is taking place in Fahrenheit 451, our text. So, the biggest problem that affects the people in the book. And the last term we're looking at, supporting her argument. Again, we want to look for evidence from the text that she uses to make her case clear. All right. So now that we've unpacked these terms in our prompt, we need to begin to plan. So the first thing we're going to do is determine what the section reveals about life in Fahrenheit 451. So what are we learning about how people live their life, the way that people act, their beliefs. Second thing is we're determining how Clarice feels about life in Fahrenheit 451. All right. So first, we're learning about life in Fahrenheit 451 in general. Second, we're learning about how Clarice feels about that. And third, we're looking at that biggest problem again. Okay. So what is the biggest problem to Clarice? Your answer needs to include these three things. All right. So you should have a piece of information about what this section reveals about life in general in Fahrenheit 451. It should also include how Clarice feels about life, and then also her biggest problem, right? That's just rephrasing our prompt. Okay. So your answer needs to include all of these things. Next, we need to prepare for writing our assertion. You will be doing this on another slide. So again, let's look at our prompt again. What does Clarice believe is the biggest problem in this community, and how does she support her argument? Remember that when we write an assertion, it's essentially the claim that you are making. Okay, so what claim are you making? So your sentence stem is provided for you. It says, Clarice believes the biggest problem with life in Fahrenheit 451 is, and you need to finish that sentence. There's your assertion. Once you've done that, then you can begin your final exit ticket. So I have a few pieces that are super important to make sure you get a 100 on this exit ticket. So your criteria for success are as follows. Your answer must be a minimum of 4 sentences. If it is 1 sentence, you will not receive full credit. If it's 3 sentences, you won't receive full credit. Your answer needs to have 4 complete sentences. One of those sentences is going to be a direct quote from the text. Make sure that direct quote is a claim that Clarice makes about life in Fahrenheit 451. That was a clue. Then you also must have your assertion, which we just talked about. And lastly, of course, your answer needs to respond to the prompt. So, what's Clarice's biggest issue with life in Fahrenheit 451? That's what your evidence will support.